So I almost didn't record today. And not in the dramatic, like, oh my God, I'm scared. In the, am I ready to do this today? Because literally, there were like 12 reasons in my head why I shouldn't. Because when you start something new, especially something honest, it's not the camera that makes you nervous, it's the truth. And that is what this show is about. Welcome to Unorganized. Let's get into it. If you're new here, my name is Robert E. Blackmon, and depending on where you know me from, you may know me as the organized one. The one with the systems, the closet, the checklists, the labels, the here's how you fix your life in 3 steps energy. And yes, I love that stuff. I really do. But this podcast isn't called Perfectly Put Together. It's called Unorganized for a reason. Because there's another side to all of us that doesn't fit inside a container. The side that's tired, the side that procrastinates, the side that overthinks, the side that can style a look, build a brand, create a whole beautiful space, and still have one drawer, one room, one conversation, one grief, one habit that you keep avoiding. That is what we're talking about here. This show is about closets, clutter, and the conversations we avoid. The old stories, the old resentments, the I'm fine when you're really not fine, the I'll deal with it later, and later never comes. And I want to say this clearly before we go any further. This isn't a show where I'm above you talking down to you. I'm in this with you because I have spent a long time being buttoned up, a long time being polished, a long time being the one who has all the answers. And what you don't see is the person who teaches organization still has to live a life, a real one. And life, even mine, gets messy. So here's what season 1 is. 12 episodes, weekly. Each episode, we pick one thing that people try to hide. Something in the home, something in the heart, sometimes in your habits, and we unpack it. Not with perfection, with honesty. And some tools you can actually use without shame. Because shame doesn't help you organize anything. It just helps you hide it better. Now, before we get going, I want to take a quick break. And yes, we're doing this like a real show because we are building something here. Today's episode is brought to you by Blackmon and Bougie, my own fragrance and home scents line. And I know some people are like, wait, you can sponsor your own show? Absolutely. Because if anybody understands the assignment of creating a mood, it's me. Blackmon and Bougie was created because I needed my home to feel like a reset. Not just to look good, but to feel good. Every scent in the collection is tied to a feeling, a room, a moment. Like when you want your space to feel calm, even if your mind is doing the most. So whether it's a candle, a reed diffuser, or a body room linen mist, it isn't about just smelling good, it's about setting the tone. Because sometimes you don't need motivation, you need atmosphere. You need one small ritual that tells your nervous system we're safe, we're home, we can breathe. So if you're watching this and thinking, I want my space to feel elevated without doing the most, go check out Blackmon and Bougie. Pick a scent that matches your mood or pick the mood you want to step into. All right, back to the episode. Here's what I believe. Like at the center of what I do. Your home is not just where you live, it's where you recover. It's where you return to yourself. And when your space is chaotic, it doesn't just feel messy, it starts to make your life messy. But the thing that people don't understand about this, sometimes the clutter isn't the problem, the clutter is the cover. The clutter is that blanket that you throw over that part of your life that you don't want to look at. Because if you clear the floor, then you have to face the feelings. If you organize the closet, then you have to face what doesn't fit anymore. And it's not just the clothes. I mean versions of you. Old identities, old roles, old expectations. Some of you will hold on to a wardrobe from a season you're not even in. And it's not because you're indecisive. It means letting go means facing the feelings that something has actually ended. And that can be heavy. So on this show, we're not just doing tips, we're doing truths. We're going to talk about why your junk drawer is never just a junk drawer, why your closet might be holding grief, why you can't focus when your space is loud, why you keep buying organizers but don't want to purge, why you're exhausted and it's not laziness, why your house feels like it's judging you, why you keep saying, I'll start Monday, and how to build systems that actually support your real life. Not your Pinterest life, your real life. And I'm going to tell you something that might surprise you. I don't trust perfect. Perfect usually means performance. I'm not here to perform. I'm here to be useful. So let's define unorganized in one sentence. Unorganized is where we stop pretending and start resetting. Let me be honest with you. Starting this show is me choosing to be seen differently. Because when people know you as the specialist or the expert, you're expected to know all the answers, to always look composed, to always sound certain. But the truth is, lately, I've been learning how to be softer, how to be more approachable, how to let people see the in-between, and even how to let them see the mess. Because if I'm always polished, then you're going to feel like you always have to be polished too. And that I don't want. I want you to feel like you can show up here with your laundry piled up, your emails unanswered, and your brain racing. Your feelings can be unprocessed, and you're still welcomed. Because the goal isn't to become a different person. The goal is to build a life to fit the person that you are now. That is the shift. Not how do I become perfect, but how do I become supported? And if that's you, if you've been carrying too much, this is the space for you. So, Season 1, 12 episodes weekly. Here's the kind of journey we're going on together. We're going to talk about organization, yes, but we're going to talk about the emotional stuff that makes organization hard. Because you cannot label your way out of burnout. You can't color code your way out of grief. You can't buy bins for a life that's too full. So here's the structure. Each episode will have 3 parts. 1, the real talk. What's really going on underneath the mess? 2, the reset. The simple shift that you can make immediately. 3, the system. The small, sustainable method that you can repeat. No rabbit holes, no 10-hour makeovers. We're not doing punishment, we're doing progress. And I also want this to be interactive. So every week, I will leave you with a question, and I want you to answer it in the comments. Because the conversations that we avoid are exactly the conversations we need to have. So here's question 1 for episode 1. Write it down or just answer it where you are. What's the one area in your home that you're avoiding? And why do you think you're avoiding it? Because it's never just the closet. It's never just the room. It's never just the pile. There's always a story attached. And you don't have to tell me your whole life story if you don't want to. But even naming the area is a start. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. This is a weekly show, so season 1 is already mapped. And if you're listening, follow the podcast and share this with somebody who's pretending that they're fine. And remember, if you want to support the show, check out our sponsor, Blackmon and Bougie, because building a mood is a part of building a life. I'm glad you're here, and I'll say it again. This isn't about being perfectly organized. I'll see you next week. By now, you've discovered that this is a shorter podcast, and that was done intentionally, because what I've discovered while filming this show is that words don't fill a podcast. Meaning does. I'm not interested in talking just to hit a time mark. I'm not interested in packing in so many ideas that you leave stressed out, uptight, and more confused than before. There's a lot to be taught here. There's a lot to unpack, but none of it is going to work if it creates more pressure. This show wasn't designed to stress you out. It was designed to meet you where you are. Some episodes will be longer, but that's only when there's something to say and what is said needs space. A conversation that needs to be had, a truth that needs to land, or a reset that needs room to breathe. Other times, less is enough, because clarity doesn't come by volume. It comes from intention. So if today's episode felt lighter, that's okay. If it gave you one thought to sit with, that's enough. And if it made you feel a little more seen, a little less alone in your stress or process, then it did exactly what it was supposed to. This is unorganized, not perfect, not overstuffed, not rushed. Just honest conversation at the pace they deserve. I'll see you next week.